What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new miniseries, The Asunta Case. Let's rock this. So this show comes all the way from Spain, and it's based on a true crime story of the murder of a 12-year-old girl named Asunta, a case that rocked that country over a decade ago. Obviously, I was not familiar with the case until I watched this dramatization, and now that I've watched it, I gotta say, color me not impressed. Sure, this is not really a whodunit because you can just simply look it up on Wikipedia, but what frustrates me is that this show only generates more questions than answers. And if anything, it makes Spain's judiciary system look foolish and incompetent because all they did is immediately draw a biased conclusion and then work backwards from that conclusion. Their investigation is almost often not objective. Now, again, I don't know the case well enough to know how much creative license the show writers took compared to what actually happened 10 years ago. Maybe the cops and the prosecutors really were that lazy and emotionally driven, but it's the characters and the narrative through which this show chose to depict this crime are what I have a problem with. In the Asunta case on September 21st, 2013, Rosario Porto and Alfonso Bastera report the disappearance of their daughter Asunta, whose body is found hours later next to a road outside Santiago de Compostela. The police investigation soon reveals evidence that points to Rosario and Alfonso as possible authors of the crime. The news shakes the city and even the country. What can lead two parents to end their daughter's life? What hides beneath that perfect family picture? Hey, please click the join button below to become Rama Screen members. By doing so, you will help support this channel and you'll also get lots of perks. So click on the link below to join Rama Screen membership today. Now, if the goal is to put doubt on the outcome of the trial, then sure, mission accomplished. This show does exactly that and a bag of chips. It even has an episode that gives you multiple possibilities of what might have happened the night Asunta was murdered. Maybe that's the point of all this, to point out that there was never really a definitive answer and that the parents were wrongfully accused. If so, then this is a limited series that has an agenda from the get-go, and it's not just about adding a creatively told drama to an already devastating tragedy. There's a total of 6 episodes. Each episode is an hour long. Each one of them feels very lengthy. Right from the start, one of the heavy focus is on the examining magistrate, aka the investigating judge. American audiences would go, huh? What's that? We don't really have that here, but in other countries they have an examining magistrate. And the guy who does that job on this show is the guy whom the cops refer to as Your Honor. He's very involved, very hands-on, excessively micromanaging if you ask me. He is one of the most problematic characters, and I'm not sure why the writers have to make him so unlikable. Not only is he sexist, but he's also an asshole, always trying to belittle or insult or pick on everybody, including members of his own team. He's hell-bent on holding on to his own preconceived notion, even when the cops keep telling him, "We haven't found hard evidence yet." I mean, just an all-around douchebag. The writer's effort to humanize the detectives also fall by the wayside. Every once in a while, they would mention their family or their personal relationship, just to make it seem as if they can empathize with their case at hand, but it comes across as rigid or purposely manufactured or inauthentic, not to mention half-measured. The flip side of that coin is the defense lawyers, who are also pushy and unpleasant, and the show tries to rationalize that by presenting all of these characters in a combative, abrasive mode. But the result is all of them, all spectrums of this judicial investigative body, are like walking, talking egos, endlessly undermining each other in a battle of constant straw-manning arguments. Just absolutely off-putting. credit where credit is due. The way that the Asunta case addresses mental health issue is pretty poignant. And the actress who plays Rosario delivers a convincing, heartbreaking performance. And I appreciate the fact that some of the episodes pull back and forth to show us the before and after picture of Alfonso and Rosario's little family with their adopted daughter Asunta. So Asunta is not just a show title, she's not just a victim, but she's also a supporting character whose recurring presence and whose tragic death compel that society to have an uncomfortable yet profound conversation about how they feel about adoption and about how they feel about expectations that come with parenting a child of a different race or culture. Sadly, the negative stuff about this show just outweigh the positives, which are just not sufficient enough for me to want to recommend the Asunta case. So yeah, overall I give the Asunta case the rating of 2 out of 5. Look, a true crime documentary probably would have done this tragedy a better storytelling justice. I just find this miniseries to be too presumptuous and too pretentious, and it's filled to the brim with all sorts of unnecessary stuff that annoy you rather than inform you. Maybe Asunta's parents were innocent. Maybe they were actually guilty. But this whole thing is just a bloated, roundabout way of saying who the hell knows.